go to the Tools panel, go over here to the Ellipse tool and create a quick circle. Hold down the Shift key. Now, if you haven't got a gradient you don't particularly like, what you can do, just go to the Gradient tool and simply create a very quick gradient. You can find lots of tutorials about the gradients on my channel. Now, with this gradient, what I'm going to do, I'm going to blur it slightly. So I'm just going to go to Filters and Blur and Gaussian Blur. So I don't want it too blurred, but I want it blurred enough, but I don't want to go over the edge. That's a key thing to avoid. So I'm just going to blur it like that. No, it's not going over the edge, key thing. Key panel for this, Layers. So Layers you can find in View, Studio and Layers. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to just go to Edit and Copy, and then Edit and Paste Inside. All the way through, I'm going to be using Paste Inside. So Paste Inside, now just go over here to the Move tool, and then just resize. And you can see the design now inside there. What you can do then, hold down the Alt or Option key, that's on the keyboard, normally next door to Command or Control, etc. And you can duplicate your design. And you can do that multiple times. And you can repeat that over and over again. So you can create all kinds of, and you can always resize. So just resize it like that. Hold down the Alt or Option key again, resize, and you can create a nice colourful design, which would be very hard to create probably just by using the standard gradient or brush strokes, etc. So you've got this design now. Well, what you can do, go over here, select that, go up to Layer, and you can say Merge Visible. They're all merged into one now, one pixel layer. So I'm just going to remove it, remove that. Now I've got this design. Again, Edit and Copy, Edit and Paste Inside. And again, you've got that, and again, you can repeat it. So you can quickly create some more. And I'm just going to quickly do this, just quickly go through, and you can see what's happening. You're building up quite a complex design. And you can also, of course, resize it again. You can always hold down the Alt or Option key, duplicate it again, rotate the design. You don't have to have it in the same place, same angle. So you can fill that. Okay, once you've done that, select the top and then go to Layer and Merge Visible. And then remove that one. So I'm just going to remove it. Now you can leave it if you want. You can deselect it. I always find it ends up confusing things. Sometimes I end up selecting that and working with something. I'm thinking nothing's changing because I'm using the wrong one. So I prefer just to work with one layer in this case. So again, Edit, Copy, and again, Paste Inside. Now you can do this obviously forever. You could create very complex designs that just go like a fractal design where it just literally goes into itself forever. But I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to create a few of these because what I want is a nice colourful design like this. And that's a reasonable endpoint for this bit. So again, Layer and Merge Visible. Again, delete that one again just to avoid any difficulty. Now what you can do, you can use Deform. Deform is one of my favourite filters, I must admit. Use it too often maybe, but it's just a great feature. And I wish they would add some more features to it. But however, Distort and Deform. And what you can do, you can quickly add around the edge. Just add these handles or pins, what you want to call them, or dots. Just call them dots. These dots around the edge. And then you can simply go to the center and you can drag out. And you can see what happens. You end up with this lovely distortion here. You can drag that out that way. Now, avoid going over the edge. That's the key thing. Don't go over the edge. If you go over the edge, you end up getting, some cases, sometimes not, you end up getting things cut off. And I don't always enjoy that. So let's just go back. And if you go too far, you can always undo. So click Apply. Oh, it's gone slightly over the edge. Hardly noticeable. But you can just see a slight cutting off there. Sometimes it does it, sometimes it doesn't. I've never worked out the exact logic of why it does it sometimes. But you can see what happens. You've got this design. Now what you can do, weirdly, you can turn around and say, I want that copied and paste inside again. So you can paste that inside. Now you can, if you want to, add effects. So layer, you can add layer effects, bevels, shadows, etc. to make even more complex design. But I'm not going to do that. So I'm just going to quickly create some copies of this and inside, and you can see what happens. You get a really weird and wonderful distorted design like that. Now again, what you can do, Layer and Merge Visible. Delete that one. Now this is the end point. So what I'm going to do, I'm simply going to go to filters and deform again, distort and deform. And this time I'm going to use similarity. Similarity, and I'm not going to put the pins around the edge. I'm just going to simply drag, because what I want is a lovely sort of warped and wonderful design. And you can quickly create that and see what you got. That's all from one gradient. You can still see the basic default gradient. Now that could have been anything. That could have been any gradient. And you can simply see, click apply. And that's it. You can create a wonderful, weird and wonderful, colourful background. Let's just remove the layers now over there. Now you do get occasional bit of distortion there. It's not brilliant, I agree. But you got that design. And of course, you can always, if you want to, just try again, because I would love to. Yep, that works as well. Also what you could do, and I haven't done it in this tutorial, but I could do it, maybe have a go next time, is go for field view, I should say, studio and macro. Maybe just save it all to a macro. Start with your basic gradient, then you can simply click, run through and create all kinds of abstract backgrounds from a basic design. Hope you found this of interest. Always adding new tutorials all the time. Dislike or like, always appreciated. Thank you much.